As Canada continues on its path to recovery from the pandemic's impact on the economy and the health system, there's a growing need for households to maintain and improve their financial resilience. This comes as Canadians have experienced change in their work-life patterns, their school life patterns, and the movement of everyday life in this new pandemic-era normal. So what are some steps that Canadians can take to improve their finances in 2022 and beyond? Well, to help us out with that in our weekly finance and investment segment is Brendan Caldwell, Director of Caldwell Securities Ltd. Brendan, welcome back to Forum Daily.
Nima, always great to be here. Thank you.
Always great to have you, Brendan. So how can investors take better charge of their finances in 2022?
Well, I think there's a number of things you can do. I was listening to your introduction as people get back to normal, hopefully. I cannot either confirm nor deny I knocked wood at that point in time when I heard you say that. How can people take care of, and I didn't know how you're going to finish this sentence, so I was thinking, take some vitamin D, because people need to get out and get some sun, particularly in the middle of winter. But I think probably the single most important thing for people and their finances is to put a little bit of money aside every month, just enough that you notice it. If that's $50, it's $50. If it's $500 or $5,000, some amount of money that they just noticed to put aside, hopefully in something that is both liquid and can grow. Banks are fine, but having that $50 or $500 grow and compound every month in something that has the ability to participate in whatever is going right in the market will mean that over a year or two or three, when you need that money, it will not have just sat there at the current low interest rates, but will have actually done something for you.
All right, Brendan. Well, let's get into some of the investment resources out there. I've heard a lot of people talk about an emergency fund, especially during this pandemic. How important is it to have one, and what exactly does an emergency fund look like?
It looks like different things for different people. As I say, some people's emergency fund are under their floorboards or their mattress. That's a way of doing it. Going into the Y2K crisis of 20 odd years ago, you may have read, since you may not remember, people were buying gold and hoarding it in their basements. But I think the best way for most people is to add something to a mutual fund that can grow 50, 500, 100, some number, because the dollar cost averaging effect is as true today as when David Chilton wrote The Wealthy Barber going on 40 years ago about how you can put a little money aside in something that can go up or down on any given month. You're buying more when it's lower and less when it's higher, dollar cost averaging.
All right, Brendan. Well, I know a lot of our younger viewers may be hearing about tax-free savings accounts. So what are the benefits of a TFSA?
Well, it was something that the last Conservative federal government came up with as a way of encouraging people to save. And while you don't get any tax deductions for putting money into a TFSA, the money inside it accumulates without incurring any taxes. And you can then withdraw that also without incurring taxes. So it is a way of, if there is a stock you like, you want to buy the next big investment in whatever the next meta stock is, a TFSA is not a bad way for the next generation, or indeed any generation, to have those investments that they see accumulating over time. I believe the amount you can put in each month is $6,000. Sorry, not each month, each year is $6,000, but that accumulates over time. So if you've been around for a while, at least I have, the limit can get quite big, into the tens of thousands.
All right, Brendan. Well, as we get older, we hear about RRSPs. So when is the best time to invest in an RRSP?
Well, that's a good one. A TFSA is good to start when you're 18. Because it's you can own a mutual fund, you can own anything in a TFSA, and it's not really a tax-driven product. The RSP was designed as a way for people who didn't have pensions to accumulate money like they do, like have a pension. So it's one's own personal pension, if you will. And a good time to start is when you're starting to notice that you're paying taxes. So if you're starting to get up to the point where taxes become a thing, then I would start looking at putting money into your RSP, because you get a tax deduction for putting money in. Now, you also pay tax when you withdraw money, either when it's an RSP or when you retire and it's a registered income fund or retirement income fund. But so it makes sense to start putting money in once you're paying taxes because it reduces your income in the year that you make the contribution. And actually right now, January, February, one can make a contribution for the previous year. So you can actually get a tax deduction against 2021 by making a contribution now in 2022.